Okay, today we're going to do a lesson on writing. You read a book about the trumpet and Gerald, and we're going to write an adventure. And then yesterday you were supposed to think of an adventure that you're going to go on with Gerald, and my adventure that I'm going to go on with Gerald is I'm going to bake a cake with Gerald. So let's, first thing we want to do is write the date. So it is 4/22/2020. Okay? Now, whenever you start, you want to make sure that you always start on this side of your paper. And every time you go, you want to always come back to this side of the paper. And remember, whenever we first write our sentence, we want to start with a capital. And my sentence is going to start with a capital I. And we always want to make capital I, capital I, capital I. Anytime the I is by itself, you want to make it a capital. So I'm going to go all the way over to here, and I'm going to start with my capital I. I am going to make that's one of our sight words. We should know that one. Go. Now, go doesn't make sense, so I'm going to say going. So if I put ing at the end, that's I-N-G. I'm going to bake. Now notice this is a silent E, so I know when I see this word bake that I want my, if the A says its name, then I want to put a silent E at the end. I'm going to bake a, oh my, thumbtack is coming out. Going to bake a cake. And there's another silent E with Gerald. And I'm not sure how to spell Gerald. It sounds like a J kind of, but Gerald starts with G, and I know this because I looked it up in the book. So Gerald. I looked that up in the book, so I know how to spell that. I'm going to make a cake with Gerald. Now I'm going to look back. Did I put good spacing? Look at my good spaces. I have finger spaces between each word so that they don't look mashed together. All right. So Gerald wants to bake a cake with me, and he likes chocolate. So I'm going to make a space right there. Oh, and look at my great period. Be sure you put a period at the end of your sentence so it can be a stop sign. He wants, all the way back to this edge again, to bake chocolate. Chocolate starts with C-H. That's one of my chunks. Chocolate. That's a long word. So whenever you come to a word that you're trying to sound out, just sound out all the sounds that you hear in the word and write those. Even though it's not spelled perfectly, it's the way all the letters that you hear in the word. So he wants to bake chocolate. He likes cupcakes, so we're going to make cupcakes for our cake. Cake. So I know that cake is C-A-K-E, so cake looks like this. He wants to make chocolate cupcakes. And be sure you put a period at the end so you can stop. All right. Now I will see, when I'm making cupcakes, what do I like to do with cupcakes? When I make cupcakes, I always like to use sprinkles. So I'm going to write a sentence talking about sprinkles. Okay, so I added the sentence, we will add sprinkles. Now I'm going to look at that. We will are both word wall words, and add. So I add has ADD, and I know that we've talked about add from math. And then and look at this chunk, sprinkles. You just sound out all the letters that you hear, all the sounds that you hear in the word. All right. So then I'm going to make my last sentence. Gerald. Okay, so we made our cupcakes with sprinkles, And I bet that Gerald is going to want to eat one. So I'm going to write a sentence about Gerald eating the cupcakes. So I'm going to make my space, and then Gerald will eat a, now I want to put an adjective, a word to describe my cupcakes. And I've decided that I would make really small cupcakes. So I'm going to use the word small, S-M, all. So Gerald will eat a small cupcake. They will be so yummy. All right, now I'm going to go back and I'm going to read my story. I am going to bake a cake with Gerald. Oh, I love my spacing. I did such a good job on my spacing. He wants to bake chocolate cupcakes. And look at my great periods. We will add sprinkles. Gerald will eat. Oh, now look. I wrote 3 sentences, but then I was like, my story's not quite done, so I'm going to add. So you have to try to write, you need to write at least 3 sentences, but sometimes I think I might want to add another couple of sentences. Some of you might add 5 more sentences because your story is so amazing and you have more things to say. So I added, Gerald will eat a small cupcake and they will be so yummy. So I wrote 5 sentences. See if you might be able to write 5 sentences today. All right, thank you so much, and I cannot wait to read your stories. Have a great day. Bye-bye.